I kind of came to this realization last night that was like, oh no, what have I done? I wasn't sure if I was going to share this on here because I wasn't sure if I was going to share it with anybody, especially not everybody. But then I was reflecting on why I created this channel and my intentions for this channel, and that is to share information and be a source of hope and inspiration, and you know, just try to be a little positivity in somebody's life and help others out. And you know, if I treat this YouTube channel like an Instagram account, that would be, you know, me just showing highlight reels of my life and hiding all the negative, bad stuff. And nobody wants to see that. People they want to be interacting with others, and they want the realness, and they want to feel like they're normal and they're not alone. So here we are. I am going to link in this video that I watched that is pretty short, and it clarifies basically what I'm trying to explain. It's a Dr. Joe Dispenza video, and basically I've been studying this stuff, and that is why some of this is coming to my awareness. And so your thoughts are the electrical charge, and your feelings are your magnetic field that attract back to you. And he talks about this quickly in the video I'm going to link below. Okay, and so I've been studying this stuff for probably 10 years, but really diving deep into it the last year. And so now, knowing about, you know, some of these different laws of the universe and laws of attraction and laws of assumption, I kind of came to this realization last night that was like, oh no, what have I done? And that's where this video comes about. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory because a lot of people don't know this. So, and then I'll get to what I've been doing and what my intentions going forward will be. So it's been almost 3 years, and it would probably be helpful to kind of know a few series of events that had happened back to back. So I had some friends that I was with one night, and I ended up going home instead of going out with them. And they ended up getting in a car accident, and one of them didn't make it. Then a few days later, my special needs daughter had to have a brain MRI done, and it was supposed to be pretty casual, but because of some of her complications with her syndrome, they took her back to lightly sedate her because she can't hold still long enough for that. And about 15 minutes later, they're rushing around, and I guess she was drowning on her own fluids and was coding out, and they had to abort the test. So that was stressful. So the next morning I wake up and notice that one of my breasts looked different than it had ever looked. And so that was a little concerning. And my husband was like, you might want to go get that checked out. So I got an appointment, went in with the plastic surgeon that I had been seeing for the last 16 years, and basically learned about BIA-ALCL, and that the type of textured implants I had were causing that, which is a lymphoma and caused from the implants. So naturally, after just losing a close friend, we were kind of all freaked out because I was showing all the symptoms for this type of cancer. And my husband and family were like, you need to get this handled, you need to get this handled, you need to get this taken care of so fast. Like, this is important, you know. And so I went to an oncologist, you know, had to find a plastic surgeon, all this stuff. And as you know, if you've been watching my channel, things didn't go as planned. And the surgeon I hired did not do what I hired him specifically to do, which was what me and my oncologist agreed was what I needed for the situation. And so since he didn't do the surgery properly, once I found that out, aside from being injured by this surgeon as well, I was panicked because I'm like, I rushed in to get this surgery so that I did not have to worry about getting this cancer caused from these implants I had in, and he didn't do the surgery correctly, and now I could still have it in there. And then a few months after this had happened, I was taking a shower and noticed a strange lump. And so then that turned into where I had to start getting mammograms every 6 months. And so, as you can imagine, stressful. Now, what also happened was, once I realized that this surgeon had injured me and had proof from a reconstructive surgeon, and realized from my medical records that he did not actually remove my full capsules as requested, I was like, okay, well, surely he'll refund me because I don't feel safe or comfortable to ever be in his presence again. I've lost all confidence in him as a surgeon, and I definitely don't trust him ever touching me again. And so, since I had paid with a credit card, Care Credit, I contacted them and was letting them know what happened, and was telling them, hey, I'm noticing in the terms and agreement I have the right to dispute for quality of goods and services if it's an extreme situation, which this is. And that started my whole journey of, you know, me trying to get justice and get refunded so that I could then focus on being able to finance the surgery I now need to get everything taken care of. But you see, what ended up happening is this surgeon, he must have a very big ego and refuses to just do the right thing. He refuses to acknowledge that he made a mistake, and he refuses to refund me. And so what has happened is, for almost 3 years, I every month have to study material and come up with, you know, new information that is accurate and valid for this dispute, to try to convince my credit card company to honor the dispute in my favor. Because what would happen is they would just get him to give a response, and whatever he said, they were like, okay, great, you gave a response, we sided with the surgeon. And it was wrong and stressful. And so for almost 3 years, I have been putting myself through torture, basically, because I wasn't gonna just let the account default and ruin my credit, because I've worked really hard to have good credit, and I didn't feel like I needed to get screwed again from this situation. And so that's why I've been diligently fighting for my rights and, you know, having my own back on this. But in doing so, I've been tormenting myself for the last 3 years. So I've got in my head nonstop now knowing that this, you know, the capsule wasn't removed completely, that I'm, you know, worried that, oh my God, he didn't remove all the capsule. I could actually have that lymphoma. And it could be getting worse, especially after I developed that mass. And, you know, and then on top of that, every month I have to spend weeks and a lot of time researching information, and every time I have to deal with that, I have intense emotions, all the negative, angry, hurt, anxious, all the bad emotions. And I go through this every single month for almost 3 years, and it's been torture. And what has happened is, and why I am now worried even more, is because that my symptoms have gotten worse, and like a lot worse, to where they're kind of getting a little terrifying. Like, you know, I was having pain in this side, and I did have the mass, and then as time has went on, I started getting a lot of swelling and also a lot of itching, and then the itching would cause bleeding, and then I couldn't get it to heal up, and so I'm not healing correctly. I'm bleeding really easily. My body's just not working correctly. And now the swelling has been going up through my neck and into my face, and I'm having trouble swallowing now on this side. And I'm having now major pain below my heart, in my, I guess, my rib cage area, and in the front and some in the back. And so after, you know, watching all these videos that I watch and reading all these books that I read, and even trying to purposely, you know, create my reality, I had this thought last night, especially after watching that Joe Dispenza video, that I hope I didn't manifest this cancer. Because I basically have correctly manifested it. Like, if you follow of how you are supposed to correctly manifest and how you are correctly supposed to use the law of assumption, I've done that. But for this, but the problem was that I wasn't like in my brain wanting it, I was fighting it. But in fighting it, I have focused on it nonstop for 3 years. I have worried about it. I have been stressed. I've had fear. I've been angry. I've been hurt. I've been mad. And I just feel just so much negative emotions. Because it sucks when you are wronged and you can't get justice. Like, you can't find someone to help you get justice. Like, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm trying to find doctors here where I live now, and until then we just won't know. You know, and I do believe in the laws and the law of assumption, and I'm going to try to start focusing on creating myself to be healthy and assuming myself healthy. I'm really going to try. But I will say right now, currently, I've had 3 years of dedication to the wrong manifestation, and a lot of trauma built up around it. And I know this is a belief I'm creating, but I just kind of feel like until I get the correct surgery and have the correct testing done, that while I'm feeling all of the pain and while I'm feeling sick, until I get that surgery, it's going to be hard. It really is. I'm strong, and so I know that I can choose to really start looping the correct affirmations in my head for being healthy. But I'm just keeping it real with you guys. So the reason I'm sharing this with you all is because if you yourself have had something going on with your health, regardless of if it's the same thing or not, but if you've been hyper focusing on it and stressing out about it and just creating emotions to where if you even think about it, you immediately, your body goes into like that crisis mode, you're probably making yourself sicker. And I just want you to be aware of it, especially now that I'm aware of it. I'm sharing that to you all to recognize it and try to be disciplined in affirming your health. You know, so I'm going to start telling myself, you know, I am healthy. I am so healthy. My body is self-healing. I'm going to start looping those, okay? I'm going to try my hardest. I don't know if it's too late. That would be an assumption there in itself if I said it was too late. But I don't know. I don't know. But I hope this video finds you well, and I hope that if you made it to the end that you got some kind of value out of it, some kind of insight, some kind of awareness, because it's so easy to focus on the bad stuff. And it's so easy to get terrified, especially when you feel like your life is on the line, and just focus on that. And what you focus on grows. Definitely watch that video I'm linking below, because Joe Dispenza obviously explains it way better than I did. I'm just kind of giving my example of the perfect storm I created based off of the knowledge he gives in that video. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to someone, and if it was, great. And if you know anybody it might be helpful for, please share it. Maybe we can, you know, create healthier people and maybe save a life.